Hello everyone, Joe here with Midwest Military Equipment out of Washington, Missouri. Today we're going to be doing a step-by-step walkthrough video explaining all the different features of our Stewart & Stevenson water trucks, along with showing you how to operate these trucks. Along with a few other maintenance items and just things you need to know when you're using one of these Stewart & Stevenson vehicles. We sold a lot of these Stewart & Stevenson water trucks. We just had a particular customer that purchased this 2003 year model Stewart & Stevenson behind me here, and he asked us if we could do kind of a tutorial walkthrough video, and we figured why not make this a really good video that explains everything about these trucks, servicing and operation, so that way customers that are purchasing these vehicles from us can have a good representation of how to operate their Stewart & Stevenson water truck. So as I started off by saying, this is originally a prior military Stewart & Stevenson M1088A1 semi truck. We converted it over to a 2,000 gallon water truck. The engine in this particular truck, being that it is an A1, is a 3126 cat diesel engine. The transmission is an MD3070 Allison 7-speed automatic transmission. From there, the power goes down to the RF611 axles. We're going to go ahead, instead of getting into all the drivetrain related stuff, is just show you how to work this truck. So this truck had been sitting on our lot for a couple of weeks now, and it had been completely drained since we originally tested. So an important things to note: on all of our water trucks, we have water drains for winterizing the trucks. So walking around this truck here, it's very important. If you're in a cold climate, you need to winterize your truck. Crack all the ball valves 3/4 of the way, open up all your petcocks, open up the drain on the pumps themselves. Once again, another ball valve here to crack, another ball valve here to crack. Pull your fill cap off. Just things to keep the truck from freezing. You know, there's a lot of potential for places that hold water on this truck. That's why we've gone ahead and put drains here at all the lowest points. One thing we pride ourselves on our water tanks is the way that they're designed, and the aspect of serviceability with our hydraulic drive system, and also being able to easily winterize the truck. So there's petcocks you will find on all the different sprayer heads around the vehicle, including the front sprayer bar. Whenever you go to drain the front sprayer bar, on this particular model, you actually have to undo the coupler to go ahead and make sure you've got all the water out of this hose that comes over to the front side of the vehicle. Other than that, that's really it for winterization. Daily operation, all of the fluids can be checked over here on the driver's side of the vehicle. We've got the transmission oil dipstick here, along with the engine oil dipstick and coolant level. If you ever get confused on what dipstick is what, you can actually see where these dipsticks go. So obviously this one's going down towards the transmission, the other one's going down towards engine oil. Very, very straightforward on that. Fuel tank's located on the passenger side of the vehicle. This is a boarding ladder to get on and off of the vehicle to get up on top of the tank. To check inside the tank, make sure no debris or anything like that's been in the tank. Definitely recommend doing that if the truck's been sitting for an extended period of time, just so you're not sucking up any of that debris in the pump itself. As you can see, this truck's got ball valves all over it, so this one would definitely need to be open 3/4 of the way. Other than that, exterior of the truck, there's really not a whole lot else to do. This particular truck has a RC water cannon on it that we just installed. With that RC water cannon, it's very important as well during the winterization process to go ahead and turn that water cannon down, so that way any water that remains inside the nozzle itself has the capacity to be able to drain out. So we're going to go ahead and jump up in the cab of the Stewart & Stevenson, walk you through all of the cabin operations on how to control this beast of a water truck. So now that I'm up in the interior of this vehicle, basic start operation is the same as any of our other FMTV vehicles. This particular vehicle, we still do have some final QC to do and some final interior detailing. So I apologize if you see a little bit of dirt on the inside of this. That'll be gone obviously before it goes to the customer. But start sequence is the same as all other FMTVs. Green switch down, hit the red button, engine's gonna start up. We're gonna go ahead and start building air pressure. You can see the parking brake indicator lights on. Over here is a fan disconnect switch for eliminating the fan if you're going to be driving through deep water. Lamp test switch just to make sure all of our warning indicators are working. Intake air heater and ether injection system. Auxiliary lights for the rear cabin. This is your hazard switch, pretty self-explanatory. I think hazards are pretty well standardized on any vehicle. High and low idle switch, and then your exhaust brake switch here to turn the exhaust brake on and off. So to turn all the lights on in the vehicle, we're going to go ahead and hit service drive and then enter. We've got all the lights on now, turn signals, horn, high beams, low beams, all operated over here. Outside of that, this is all standard to a standard Stewart & Stevenson or FMTV family of vehicles. Now when it comes to the water tank portion of the side of it, so you've got our control panel here for front left, front right, side left, and then the cannon. Typically we have a side sprayer, or we can add an additional side sprayer. For the sake of this truck, we just went ahead and put the cannon there. Rear left, rear right. You see all the switches currently are in the off position, and then this is our PTO switch. This wire cord that we have over here, we leave these mounted loose. Some customers choose to fix mount them. This is actually our remote control for the cannon itself. So the water cannon is controlled off this joystick. You can see the cannon run around on the outside of the vehicle when we do that. AC controls are here. Work lights and strobe lights are on this switch panel here. And then our water level indicator. So all of our water trucks, we put a water level indicator inside the cab, so that way the operator using the vehicle can see how much water he has left. So an important thing to note when starting with a truck that has not had water in a very long time, it works a lot easier when the truck's full. Right now we're a little bit under 3/4 water level right now, but you have to prime the pump system. So to prime the pump system, we're going to start with turning the PTO on. You can hear the PTO kick on. We'll go ahead and give it a little bit of RPM. We're going to open the closest nozzle to the pump on the back of the vehicle itself. So I've already got some water coming out of there. Takes it a second to prime up. What we're doing is we're getting the air system, or the air out of the system in that manifold. Since our water manifold works as in a continuous way to keep pressure in it, it does take a little bit to prime it when the truck has been run dead empty or drained completely at each of the water heads. So I'm going to go ahead and get it all primed up here. We'll just run through, purge all the air. Front left, we'll purge all the air while we still have the pump continuing to run. Going back to the furthest sprayer from the truck itself. And I'll go ahead and jump back to the rear. We've got water coming out of it. So this is a pretty simple process, standard to almost all off-road water trucks. Switch panel control, we covered that very well. Standard push pulls to release the parking brake. We just go ahead and push that in. We're rolling backwards, ready to rock. Go ahead, shut that rear sprayer off, set the brake, similar process there. Neutral reverse drive selector, to put it, you do not have park, so you've got reverse neutral drive. Mode, this is a question that we get asked a lot. So mode actually engages the 6-wheel drive. The truck is partially 6-wheel drive when mode is not engaged. However, it is not fully engaged until you depress the mode button. Another important thing to note with the mode button itself is when the mode button is engaged, it's going to limit your top speed of the vehicle to roughly 35 miles an hour. Heater controls, everything like that are all right here, pretty straightforward. Underneath that panel on the passenger side there, directly in front of the passenger seat, is the main fuse panel for this FMTV truck. So if you're ever looking for a fuse or a relay, it will be located underneath that panel there. Other than that, there's really not a whole lot of explaining to do on the basic operation of this truck in day-to-day use. Like anything else or any other type of automotive vehicle, always be sure to check fluids, make sure there's no leaks underneath the vehicle, make sure everything is greased really well. We recommend greasing the pump on the back of the water tank. With every 8 hours of use, go ahead and grease that pump. Obviously, drivetrain components don't need to be greased that often, but we see a lot of trucks come back that customers have ran and put out on the road or used on job sites, and they've just done lack of maintenance on them. So, like any other major piece of equipment or any other medium-duty truck, we cannot emphasize more staying up on the service intervals and staying up on greasing these things, as they do have a ton of zerks on them. So, that pretty well covers the operation of this 2003 Stewart & Stevenson MME convertible converted water truck. We'll go ahead and back this thing up, show you guys it shooting some water, and get it shipped to our new customer where you can put it to work and get it out in the fields. So we appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this video today. Be sure to like and subscribe to our channel. And of course, if you're looking for a military vehicle, check out our website, MidwestMilitaryEquipment.com. If we don't have any vehicles that you're looking for listed there, be sure to reach out. We keep over 250 vehicles in stock, along with all the parts to support them. We ship 90% of our products, ship same or next business day. So our biggest thing with our after-sales support is being able to provide customer parts when they need. Is when you take a truck like this and you use and abuse it out in the field, you're more than likely going to tear something up. We do our best to QC these trucks and go through them and exercise them prior to delivering them to the customer. But that after-sales parts support is really where we try to do the best possible job that we can on getting you the components you need as fast as possible. And that goes for people that aren't going to be purchasing a truck from us. We understand there's a ton of these trucks out in the market, and you might purchase it from even one of our competitors. That doesn't matter. We're still here to help you. So be sure to reach out to our sales team at 636-900-9046 or check us out online at MidwestMilitaryEquipment.com. Thanks for watching.